Welcome to our channel on near-death experiences, NDEs. We'll explore stories of people who've been on the brink between life and death, returning with new perspectives. These accounts offer a unique glimpse into existence, life's meaning, and the universe. Each video is a journey through transformative experiences and spiritual discovery. We're creating a space of understanding and sharing for these extraordinary stories. Whether you're here out of curiosity or seeking comfort, we hope to bring you peace and awareness. Join us on this journey of spiritual exploration. Every moment is an opportunity to grow and love. Thank you for being here with us.
As a teenager, I experienced various psychic phenomena, primarily in my dreams. As the years passed and my life became busier, these experiences gradually faded, almost disappearing until my first pregnancy. Shortly after my son's birth, I had a terrifying dream. I was the victim of a tragic car accident in which I lost my life. For months, this dream terrorized me, making me extremely cautious while driving. When my son turned 7 months old, I had convinced myself it was just a nightmare, impossible to come true. I had a full life, a new job as a teacher, a son, a house, and a husband to care for. I had invested too much in all of this for such a tragedy to occur. Then, incredibly, the accident happened. That day, just after leaving school, I was heading to pick up my son from his grandmother, intending to return to school to watch a baseball game. It seemed like the perfect plan to spend time with my son. I exited the highway with my usual caution, turning left at the green light. I thought it was my lucky day, but in an instant everything changed. I suddenly found myself in the most serene and tranquil place I had ever experienced. My grandfather, a person I had known in a previous life, and a guardian approached to assist me in my transition. They explained the accident, showing me where it had occurred, and told me it was time to return home. The love and happiness that pervaded that place were irresistible, and I felt myself becoming increasingly lighter. Panicking, I began to cry. I couldn't be dead, I thought. What would happen to my son? He was only 7 months old and would have no memory of me. His father wouldn't be able to care for him adequately, and I didn't want him to grow up with his father's parents. I insisted it wasn't my time, that there must be a mistake. With a warm embrace, they calmed me and showed me that my son and my entire family would be fine after my death. My mother would find comfort in my grandmother, and over time she would recover. My husband, too, though hurt and alone, would eventually heal his wounds and find new love. They explained that death is an integral part of the lesson we must learn on earth, and that my death represented an important teaching for those who were part of my life. They showed me my funeral, taught me how to stay close to my loved ones, and told me that, over time, I would be able to communicate with the most receptive people. I accepted all this, understanding that my loved ones would be okay. I felt increasingly lighter, but then suddenly, the thought of my son struck me again. I couldn't abandon him. Children need their mother. I had to be there for him. I couldn't give up. My guides showed infinite patience, full of love. They explained that the feelings I was experiencing were tied to the part of me that was still human. Once freed from my humanity, I would feel as light as air, pervaded by absolute happiness and boundless love. Words could not do justice to those sensations. They helped me shed my human weight. The sensation was intense, and I felt increasingly stronger, but the bond with my son persisted. We wandered in this wonderful place that seemed like eternity. We discussed my life, religion, and the secrets of the soul that, as human beings, we must forget in order to thrive on earth. I was amazed. Some things corresponded exactly to how I had always imagined life after death, while others were completely different, but I remember thinking, how wonderful. I wondered where my other loved ones were and when I would be able to see my deceased grandparents again. They explained that they were on a different time level and that, once my transition was complete, I could choose to move to other levels when I felt ready. The thought of my son, however, continued to weigh on me. I couldn't bear the idea of him growing up without a mother. They reassured me, saying that others would fulfill the maternal role, like his grandparents. They showed me Jake's life, my son. He was a beautiful and happy boy, but with a shadow of sadness that tore at his soul. This was the lesson he had to face, what he had to learn from this life. I saw a new mother for Jake when he was about 7 or 8 years old, a wonderful woman with a pure heart who cared for him with love. However, she was about to have a child of her own with my widowed husband, and the love she showed for her baby was different from what she felt for Jake, her stepson. This wasn't what I had dreamed for my son. I was happy for my husband, who was doing well and was content, but my son's situation deeply troubled me. My guides continued to work patiently to allow me to transition. At times I became hysterical, then suddenly calm and serene again. I saw a daughter next to Jake, but before conception, the plans changed. Jake's soul needed to find its place. There was too much turmoil for him to fully recover. Just as I was close to accepting my death, I was reborn from pain and suffering, with a deep longing for my son and my life. I couldn't let go of my human existence. My guides worked tirelessly, never giving up or becoming discouraged. Their patience and love were incredible. Finally, my hysteria was calmed by a higher spirit who enveloped me with love. My guides received instructions for me to return to Earth. Despite their pleas for more time, they were told that at that point, my spirit would not find peace. It was better for me to return, calm down, and learn new lessons. My pleas worked. Before descending to Earth, I understood that my friends and family were postponing and would only learn the lesson after my death. It was established when, where, and how my spirit would return and what new things I would learn. Upon my return, I would forget some things, and it wasn't right for my soul to know when I would die again, as human beings tend to obsess over this thought, especially as the moment approaches. I only remember returning to the accident site and, before returning to Earth, being told that when my children had grown up, it would be time to return home forever. I immediately accepted, but then wondered, how grown up? Few years. Teenagers. Would I live to see them married with children? It was a difficult issue to face right after the accident. I had a life with my son again. I had to live it fully because I didn't know how much time I had left. They told me I had survived by a miracle. A large truck had hit the side of my car at full speed. Despite wearing a seatbelt, doctors told me I wouldn't have survived if it wasn't for the airbag, which normally wouldn't have deployed in a side impact. The year following the accident was an attempt to live to the best of my abilities. However, I suffered from acute pain due to fractures in my shoulder, ribs, and hips. They told me the pain would disappear after 6 months, or at most within a year. After 3 years, the pain still persisted. The second year was the worst. I thought about suicide, wishing only to return to that wonderful place, full of love and joy. My son and, later, my daughter were the only reason that helped me go on. I was here for them. Today, I have found a reason for my return to Earth. There is still a long time before I can return to my true home after this life, and I will struggle to find peace and happiness until my end comes.
If you enjoyed this video or you're interested in the topics we cover on this channel, I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. Share the video with someone you think might appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Preface: near-death experiences, NDEs, can be profound, life-changing events. Remember, NDEs are subjective experiences, not proof of an afterlife or a guide for living. Channel purpose: this channel shares NDE stories and information, providing a platform for open discussion without promoting specific beliefs. Disclaimer: this content doesn't replace professional medical or psychological advice. If struggling with mental health issues, seek professional help immediately. If you've had an NDE and need support, consult a therapist experienced with NDEs. We don't promote suicide or self-harm. If considering suicide, contact a prevention lifeline immediately. Suicide prevention resources: National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Crisis text line, text HOME to 741741. Conclusion: we hope you find this channel informative. For questions, please contact us. Remember, suicide prevention is crucial. If you're struggling, seek help. You're not alone.